Had you ever been guilty of projecting baggage or a past trauma onto someone new? I'm guilty as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. I'm guilty as fuck.
I know I'm guilty.
Okay. All right. The trauma is the fucking cell phone.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not gonna lie. It's a trauma that like I have gotten better at it. I'm not gonna lie. I have gotten better at it, right? But I still have this like gut feeling inside of my stomach that like every time I'm like around a girl and stuff like that, and that she spends way too much time on her phone, that she's not there with me present, like on the date. And then I just like, especially if it's a date too, and they know it's a date, or even if it's a hangout, whatever, right? Doesn't matter. If it was one of that, and you just spend most of your time absorbed into your phone, like I just don't want to be around those people because of that trauma. And that trauma, long story short of what that trauma is basically that while I used to lay down and be around like my girlfriend at the time, she was actually texting some other guy and laugh into her phone and joke around. And I used to turn a blind eye and pretend that it was just her friend or something like that. I used to just like, kind of gave into it. But little did I know that like, she was cheating multiple times. And then
how long did you know that was happening? Yeah.
With her, I always knew. And then the other one after her, it took me like 2 months of that habit of her doing it. The girl after her, I was only with for like 2 years, I think. 2018, 2020. Yeah, so 2 years. I was with her for 2 years, but in the like, I want to say like the 6 months, she started texting another guy. And she, I found out like 2 months into it after, but I just turned a blind eye because like, I just didn't want to feel like I'm invading or causing a problem for her and like assuming and stuff like that.
She's causing problems for you, man.
No, fuck that.
Yeah.
Time to dump you is like.
I should have.
Hell no.
Yeah, I should have. I broke up with her like a year after.
Was she still handling your money for a year?
And
wow, you hit him in the right place.
That good that you stayed with her? Like,
the nail on the head.
Like, was like, you know what I'm saying? Was it because of the pussy or what? Like, what kept you there after you knew?
I have a very.
I want to know that.
So what my personality is, as my friends know, because I'm a mechanic, right? I have this very stubborn personality, but stubborn in a bad way.
He likes to fix things.
Exactly. So I always like to fix things and find solutions to everything. Like anything that's a puzzle, I love puzzles and stuff like that. But it also projects to my relationship too. So like even with our like life issues such as like healthcare, banks, money, things like that, or government such as permit, license, stuff like that, like I will always try to figure it out for my friends. If I don't know how, I'll try to figure out how. Taxes, etc. Relationship is the same. Like when I go through a kind of like a bump in the road or a ditch or whatever, right? Every time there's a problem, I always try to figure out how to resolve things. That's including being with a cheater. I would still try to like work things out, try to figure things out. Because I always want to find a solution to everything to kind of stay together. That's another hard one for me to accept too. Sometimes people are too good people, but they just don't work well together. If that makes sense. Yeah. Like two individuals, they're really great.
If they're like, cheating, no, hell no. I'm sorry.
I know, but I'm just telling you that like, so that's the problem I have when it comes to a relationship. I wouldn't say that I'm a hopeless romantic, but I would say that like I try way too hard. I don't quit really easily because I have like that, I guess you can kind of say like that mantra that like people don't really fail at things. It's more like they quit. That's like this mantra that I have
that's
like,
a good point.
in my life that like that's kind of like what pushes me to do things.
Damn it just gave me a good answer for the last question.
Yeah, but that's I know.
What's your answer,
I
Michael?
know it's bad for cheating. Trust me, I know it's bad. But that's something that I have this really bad thing. Like I keep trying hard in my relationships, always trying to solve for problems, always trying to fix everything.
Yeah, the answer for the last question you just came up with, what you just mentioned now, is not being able to fix things that's outside of your control.
You projected that onto the next relationship?
No, I don't. I have to pass on this one because I'm not seeing it.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, you and Jay did it. So, Q, Meg, you guys ever projected on like from your last relationship onto your new one? Trust issues, anything?
Hell yes. Yes. That's an absolute yes.
The trust
like,
issue?
Okay, sorry, Meg. I'm gonna drop. Yeah, trust, like cheating, like the assumptions that you make after you've been cheated on and you stayed in that relationship or whatever, however long you stayed in. But that, like, is definitely trust and cheating for me that I've projected. But also, I would say I've projected the fact that, like I said before, I'm very non-committal usually.
Oh, there we go.
And I have projected that onto a relationship where somebody like, he wants to be very committed, but I just can't, it's like, it's a lot. Like, it's a lot to like commit to somebody. Like, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of time.
Define and describe what would make a person attractive or desirable by many in your own words. So, it's your opinion. This is what makes a person attractive and desirable by a lot of people. So, obviously, we all have different opinions. Like, I could say, like, this person wears fucking pink every day or fucking, you know what I mean? And Jay could be like, oh, a person's desirable if they wear blue every day. Like, so it's in your own words. What defines a person as desirable and attractive by many? So to me, I think for a girl that's desirable, I think a girl's desirable by many if it's something that's not easily obtainable. Because the way you look at it, scarcity is what always sells, and limitation is what always sells. Such as an example, I'll use a car. It's a really good example. Like, they only make 100 of these cars. So that means not everyone can buy this car. You got to go on a wait list. You got to be randomly chosen, and only 100 people is going to get this car. Right? So for a female, it's the same. Because not every guy will want to date a girl that every guy can fucking date her too. You know what I mean? Like, she'll say yes to everyone. But, like, there has to be some sort of chase for that girl to be desirable. She has to be hard to get. Right? Because if she's so easily obtainable, then fucking who the fuck wants to desire? If everyone had gold and gold was fucking everywhere in the street, gold would lose its value, wouldn't it? Because fucking everyone could find gold easily. You pick up a fucking stone next to you, oh look, it's gold. You pick up a fucking croissant, oh look, it's gold. It's so for a girl, it's the same concept. It's like, well, at least what I think. For a lot of guys to desire a girl to be very desirable is because she can't be won over by regular tactics, tricks, and you actually have to spend the time to get to know her, and then you have to gain her favor, and that's what makes her desirable. And she's not easy accessible to others too. That's the other thing. So if not a lot of guys can have access to even have a second with her or even talk to her or see her, such as like, Megan Fox, I'm still single, just let you know. So if you're out there, right, like, like Megan Fox is a good example. She's such an A-list celebrity, but then, not a lot of guys could just slide into her DM or send her a fucking carrier pigeon and it will land in her house, because how the fuck did that pigeon even know it was her? Yeah. But anyways, it's like, she's so hard to even to get access to, that there's only a certain amount of like potential threats to even win her over. So that's what makes her even more desirable. So I think that to me is what defines a desirable girl and desirable by many. Well, for me, that's in my own words for this question. I think that's what's make a very desirable person. Girl, sorry, because I said girl. So that's my answer.
So you're basically saying, Kay, like the female that is like, One of a kind. Like she's harder to get.
Yeah, I guess you can kind of say that, like, because people don't desire things that are like accessible to everyone. Because if we can all get it, then why bother? Or it's not really much of a chase at that point. Like a luxury item or etc. Like a car. All my analogies that I use. Like, for an example, I think if you girls were talking to a guy who love bomb you guys, right? For an example, I think you guys would get sick of it because he's putting all his cards on the table for you guys already. That I don't think I'm. You can call me, you can tell me that I'm wrong, but I think for you guys that if you guys are not putting up a chase, or like you don't have a chase with a guy, then you're not really gonna even bother. But if there's a guy that like makes you go, huh, is he into me or not? Right? I think those are the type of guys that attracts you more. Am I wrong?
No,
you're here.
Oh. No, you're right. Like, you're right. But then there are those guys that let them, expose themselves to let you know that they're totally into you, but they're waiting for you to say so.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, they're making you
like
chase.
I've met a guy like that recently. Yeah, like, I got to chase. And, so what's more valuable? Is it more valuable for me to do the chase, or is it more valuable for me to keep the friendship? Or do I want to go friends with benefits? I've already had that offer and I'm like, right now I'm staying with friends. Not that I wouldn't do friends with benefits, but I already know that every time somebody says like it'll stay between the sheets, it never fucking stays between the sheets. Okay? It just doesn't. Somehow your business gets out there, and I am not about that.
Your culo is probably all over the internet.
Those pigeons, man.
Those pigeons.
They're everywhere.
So many pigeons got sent out, and I don't even know who sent them. Right?
Yeah. What do you think, Meg?
And I can't have that.
What do you think, Meg? What is that? Don't you think so or no? You can say no. That was just my opinion. That, like, you don't think that, like, you're putting in some effort that you have to chase the guy, then he's not really that desirable? Or would you actually go for a sim?
I like a little bit of chase, but I also like a guy that Q like described. Like you give yourself up that you're interested, but just like kind of like waiting to see kind of thing. Like, I like that, but if it's just like a hard on chase, I'm like, I don't have time for this shenanigans.
Totally agree.
Yeah. Okay. It's like just too much effort, and I don't even know if you're even that good.
Thank you. Like, right?
Yeah.
Should I like spend more energy trying to like chase you, quote unquote, or not?
Yeah. But
all right,
I also
viewers,
like
you could take notes. Yeah, go on.
I also never really liked, even when I was in, I don't know, high school and stuff like that, I never liked guys that, the popular guy. I never liked the popular guy. All the girls like the popular guy. But I'm just like, and I'm looking, I'm like, what's so good about him? Like, why is everyone like after this guy? Good. But I think it's because like I'm like that like the guy would be interested in me. I'm like, no, get away from me. Like, I don't want to be part of this.
Last question of the night. What made a big mental health improvement to your life?
This one's easy for me. This was during the pandemic. I left the job that I was currently at, and I switched for another job. Even though it was less pay, my sanity just wasn't worth it. You know what I mean? It wasn't worth losing. And also trying to make other people happy. And I learned to make myself happy instead of others. That was what a big improvement for my mental health.
It's a good one.
Wow, that's solid.
Yeah, because the job I was working in, it was an online bank. I was promoted to like midway through the pandemic. I was promoted to like the supervisor. So I had to deal with a bunch of calls, escalated calls, and at one point it just got to me to like, because dealing with like so many like irate people that like I was starting to question my existence. Let's put it that way.
That's deep.
That is.
That's deeper than the grave that they dig for me.
And I'd always try to come up with excuses just to call out, but I could never come up with one. And I'd always ask myself, like, when is this shit gonna be over? And then at one point, I'm like, I decided just to quit, to leave. I took a less stressful job where I didn't have to deal with anybody, and yeah, at first it was less pay, but then because I did so well that pretty quickly I was making as much as I was making at that job, and then I surpassed the amount like very quickly, within less than a year. So yeah, that's what helped me with my health, mental health.
Big improvement.
Yeah, there's a huge improvement.
That was good. What about you, Jay? Anything help you improve your? Don't fucking say alcohol, because that's my answer.
God damn it, I was gonna say it.
That's my answer, bitch. You can't take that shit.
Lots and lots of copious alcohol.
It's hey, ooh, offset. No, it's
For me, it's something recent, like
cocaine.
I always,
sorry, go. Sorry.
I always used to be like a calm person, like in the zone, right? Very zen. But after this whole debacle that happened about 3 years ago with my family, got a little bit more responsible with my life and got the house and everything. What helped me out was just like working on the house itself. You know what I mean? It kept me busy, and it also kept me more optimistic about the future. Because I'm like, oh hey, I'm gonna fix this, gonna make the house better, and then later in the future, probably sell it for more. So I've never spent so much money at Home Depot in my entire fucking life. But but again, I like it. It's like a new hobby that I never knew I liked. Yeah. So that's helped me out a lot because my mind is elsewhere. Yeah.
You didn't find God or anything?
No. No church girls.
You found something to take out your aggression.
That's pretty
No
good.
Easter.
Yeah.
No Easter.
You found an outlet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For me, it would be. I mean, there's a lot. I went through a lot of stages in my life, so I'm just gonna pick one, which is the reassurance of others does fucking absolutely nothing for you. The opinion of others do fucking absolutely nothing for you.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's the biggest one that it was hard for me because I used to live off of being a middle child. I used to live off of wanting the attention from my mom and the feeling of like people like, I guess you kind of say, reassurance or what they thought of me and stuff like that. Such as, oh, he's a smart boy. Like, oh, he lives that life that like everyone desired. Things like that too. It was a bunch of other things. The reassurance and the opinion. It used to play a big impact on me, and it used to push me a lot to do better and be very, very likable. Like I really wanted everyone to like me, and I wanted everyone to make me wanted everyone to be happy. So I tried my best to make everyone happy and welcoming and stuff like that. But then I watched as how ugly people can really get, right? Especially people who were close to me, and I watch how people changed, and I watch as like I got stepped on for having too much of a big heart and taken advantage of and taken granted of because I had a big heart. And the opinion of others still doesn't make me any better, such as like, let's say if one person, like let's say you, Marco, hate me, right? And I spend a lot of energy and time to try to get you to like me, right? All said and done, after kissing your ass and doing all this shit, right? What is the benefit for my life? Does it do anything? As I got older, I realized I never really cared anymore. Granted, yes, the opinion of people will hurt you. I'm not going to deny that fact. It is hard. It's a hard pill to swallow, right? And the reassurance from others is great, right? However, after I just kind of always pushed myself and had confidence in myself and gave everything to myself, it pushed me so much further in life, which is why I'm a supervisor now, right? And I'm a boss now and all this other stuff, regardless of what the people below me thinks. And no matter what, I will still make decisions to protect and serve and work and take care of people regardless of whatever people thinks. And I don't pay people to like me. I pay them to work. And that has gotten me so much further in life because it doesn't make you any better to be a likable boss. It doesn't. You're not going to get paid more. But if you're the type of boss who actually makes sure that everyone has hours to get paid, and you do things such as balancing out the hours and wages and stuff like that, so everyone's kind of fair across the board, that makes you a better boss. Not what they think of you, whether they like you or not. And it works the same in life too. So regardless if my mother, my sister, and any, like my brother, whoever, family, even close friends, regardless if my friends like the decisions or don't like the decisions that I do in my life, it's not going to do anything, regardless of whether they stay or go. My life is always going to be kind of projected to where I place myself, not the opinion or reassurance of what my friends think I should do, what my parents should think I should do, what my brothers and sisters, and so on and so on. It's really the opinion of yourself and the reassurance that you give yourself will benefit you more in life than others. That, to me, was a great mental improvement to my life. It took me a while to get over that. And it was difficult. Don't get me wrong. It is hard. It is hard. But I've gotten that. Proven to be a really useful tool. Yeah. Most people just don't think I care. By the way, it's November. I just want to plug this in. So men's mental health. What? Men's
It is
mental
like men's mental health month.
Awareness month. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. Go ahead. Go on.
I think mine's is similar to yours, okay?
All right. Go on.
I think I tell my friends that are younger than me that when I turn 30, it's amazing. My 30s are like better than my 20s. I think it's because I learned to accept myself, but also like not be a people pleaser. And like worry about people's like opinions and stuff like that. Just feeling more confident about myself, like I am who I am and that's how it is. And also like not care so much about like not worry about and putting so much energy or as much energy on others, but like paying more attention to myself, like a lot more self-care.
Yeah.
And I feel, I don't know, like being there like when you're in your 30s is amazing.
Yeah, it is. This is like, I was telling my friends, this is my golden year. I thought my 20 was wasted and that was my golden year. I was so wrong. I was so fucking wrong.
The 30
You start getting out of the popularity phase, you start like not caring about the whole popularity thing anymore and just focus on you.
Yeah. It's that solitude that I have is so fucking priceless.
Yes.
So yours and mine's the same then.
It's pretty much the same. And you said that you're a middle child. I'm like, wait, I'm a middle child. Are we having middle child syndrome? Is this
hey, don't fucking call me out. You better take a few steps back on my hairline.
Right, step back now.
Someone call security on her. Tell them that they will have word.
I need a word with you, young lady.
We will have words. All right, Q, what you got?
A big improvement for my mental health was when I really started embracing the fact that I'm mixed and I'm adopted, because I have really dealt with a lot in my life of not being accepted, like in whatever. So not accepted as a Korean because I'm not like light enough or like porcelain, that like
identity
porcelain
crisis.
skin, like I'm not fully Korean, identity issues.
Yeah.
And then in Black culture, I'm not like Black enough. So I've had to learn to navigate that, but it took like a huge toll on my mental health, which obviously affected like my identity. And I would say I've recently, and probably like the last several years, I've really embraced the fact that, being proud of being mixed and being able to like kind of work my way through different cultural dynamics has been kind of cool. So now, like I told you guys earlier, like I'm starting to actually talk about this now. And it's a really like um, vulnerable space for me to talk about like my existence. I'll say it like that because I technically should not be here. And yeah, so I think I've been embracing that a lot and realizing how incredible I am and
You are.
starting to really like talk about that and like receive that, you know. So instead of being fetishized, more so telling myself like I'm unique and I'm valuable and I'm great the way I am. But you know, still I'm still in a space where I'm telling myself that, even though I hear from other people like, okay, like you look great or like you're really beautiful or you're unique or whatever. It's still something to where I don't feel like it's genuine yet from other people. And it's only genuine coming from me because I know what I've been through. And in order for me to let everybody else know what I've been through, I have to continue to share my story, which is, it's hard to share it, but I think I need to. That's why I started sharing it and I kind of took a break and I need to like share the rest of it. But it's just so, there's so much in it because I've been through so much crap, just kind of who I am, being adopted, being mixed, being abused. Like there's so much I've been through. So it's almost like I'm embracing who I am, but I'm embracing who I am with all the pain and the issues that I have had to hide for so long. So yeah, mine's kind of like a lot deeper, but it's more personal, but it's still something that I know I'm doing and I have to. There are so many people reaching out to me now who are like mixed, like Black and Asian or whatever. And I'm not even sure like what to say to them sometimes. Like I'm meeting people in person who are following me and they're asking me like, how do you navigate your way through this like lifestyle of being mixed? And then I'm like hearing from people on social media too. So I think I do realize now that I have to share my story no matter how, honestly, how fucked up it is, is the best way to say it. But yeah, so that's a lot. So because I've been going through a lot of like mental health issues myself, dealing with my identity. And I think now I'm embracing my identity. And the more I share it, it's more healing for me, I guess. So yeah, that's like a lot.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
great.
I'm happy you're sharing too. I was when you were talking about that, I'm like, I'm sure there's a lot of like mixed like people as well, like you, who is struggling the same way, and like
Yeah.
you telling it will hopefully make them not feel alone, and that there's a group of you to support each other.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Like I've had a lot of people say like, "Oh my gosh, you have the best of both worlds, like you're Korean and you're Black." And I'm
Yes,
like, okay.
I was
I was
thinking that
like,
too
that's
when you're saying,
true. But then I was like, at first, I'm thinking, like, how is that the best of both worlds? But at the same time, it's like, it kind of is.
yeah,
Because with like the whole like glow up of being Korean and then like kind of Black power type, you know, mentality. But what people don't realize is that I'm not accepted fully in either culture,
mhm,
right? I'm not Korean enough. I'm not Black enough.
yeah.
And so that's like a hard place. That's why you have to like identify and find your place in between, you know, and just kind of accept who
You're
you
right.
are.
All right. Hope all the listeners had fun listening to this episode as much as we all had fun talking, answering every question. It's past my bedtime. My eyes are starting to feel heavy. So with that being said, good night and keep a lookout for all those carrier pigeons.
Behold, it is I, Jay, aka Kimchi Papi,
My lord.
arriving to you all from this lovely location. I don't know. I was trying to be British as fuck. Thank you all for listening. Remember, you can catch all of our adventures over at Google, Spotify, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. That being said, this is your boy signing out saying, don't be lazy, wipe your dead babies.
Oh, snap.
Oh my God.
Wet spot.
Okay, it's been super dope being here tonight with In the Gray podcast. And once again, my name is Q, the Blasian Badass, and definitely follow me and subscribe to my podcast. But definitely follow me on social media at Q, the Blasian Badass. And I look forward to the next podcast episode.
Thank you for joining us. It's been wonderful. You can follow me in my next travel at Meg's Dimple Life on Instagram. And I'm going to say my tombstone, so peace out. I'm done.
Remember, listeners, to integrate podcast to always stay great.